I teach a lot of classes for Homeschool Connections. If you've ever gone online and looked through the list of course offerings I have available, I think to date there's something like 40 plus classes. Parents looking through this list are often overwhelmed by the options, and I get lots of emails from parents asking me for advice on which specific classes they should choose for their child. Now, with all the classes I have available, I certainly don't have time in one video to go through any sort of comprehensive history track, but what I want to do is just tackle one of the eras that I get the most questions about, which is medieval history. Now, if you look online for my high school options for medieval history, you will see that I have three different offerings. I have Catholic Middle Ages, Age of Faith, and City of God. And what I want to do in this video is just talk about how these courses are different and which ones you should choose and combine depending on the specific history track you want your child to be on. The first thing we should note is that Age of Faith and City of God are meant to go together. Age of Faith covers the early Middle Ages, from the fall of Rome up until the Carolingian Empire, whereas City of God covers what I would call the High Middle Ages, from the end of the Carolingian Empire to the early 13th century. And they're meant to go back to back, one taken in the fall and the other taken in the spring. Age of Faith and City of God give a real in-depth study of the Middle Ages. It covers the ecclesiastical history, it covers the secular history, it covers a little bit of the culture, and there's lots of readings of the primary sources and lots of discussions of the very specific events and battles and ideas from all the different countries of Christendom. It's very intensive and it's very detail-oriented. Catholic Middle Ages, on the other hand, is a very general survey. It's just very much skimming the surface. It covers the entire Middle Ages from the fall of Rome to the Protestant Reformation in a single semester. Because it crams so much time into one semester, it's necessarily not going to go into as many details. Catholic Middle Ages also focuses much more on the religious history. It focuses much more on the church's contributions to European civilization, and how the church developed throughout the medieval period. So which courses are right for you depends on how much time you want to devote to world history or church history in particular. I often tell parents to choose Catholic Middle Ages if they really only need one class for world history for a semester, and they just want to get it out of the way and they want their child to have a very basic overview of medieval history. This is often ideal for situations where you live in a state where the state mandates that you have to have so many semesters of American history, and you're left with not a lot of time to put in world history, but you still want to get that solid background in the Catholic Church's history, in the history of medieval Europe, but you really have a limited amount of time to do it. In those situations, it's ideal to choose Catholic Middle Ages. On the other hand, if you want a track that's more world history focused and you have a lot more time to dig into the particulars, then I recommend Age of Faith and City of God, because they're going to give you a much more rich and comprehensive view of the medieval period than you're going to get with Catholic Middle Ages. So if you have the time, and if you're on a track that prioritizes world history over US, then I definitely recommend Age of Faith and Catholic Middle Ages. Now, to make this more complicated, in the future, I'm planning on doing a third medieval class, which is going to be on the late Middle Ages, like from the middle of the 13th century to the dawn of the Protestant Revolt. And this class could be paired with my class, Rending of Christendom, which is an entire semester on the Protestant Reformation and the age of the religious wars. So in theory, when I get that late medieval class done, you could do 2 whole years of medieval history with me. You could do year 1, Age of Faith in the fall, City of God in the spring, and then year 2, the late medieval class in the fall, and Rending of Christendom in the spring. Gosh, I've got so many great courses out there. There's just not enough school for all of them, but that's what this video is here for, is to help you make the best decisions with the options that I do have available. Was this video helpful? If it is, let me know, and let me know in the comments what other historical eras you'd like me to talk through. I have lots of classes on ancient history, American history, I'd be happy to help talk you guys through choosing the right courses for your student. So until then, this is Mr. Campbell. Take care, and remember, history is awesome.